This is 4th and Goal on Break the Cast.
Break the Cast. My name is Jeff Blagden. I am joined by Andrew Tony the Tiger Reese and Christian Collarbone Smith, and this is 4th and Goal. And of course, we have to lead off this week by talking about the team that obviously proved the most this week and impressed us all the most, the Houston Texans.
Woo!
After a blowout like they endured, you know there just had to be a fall guy. And of course, the fall guy had to be the only guy who didn't show up on time in Ryan Mallett, who, of course, was subsequently cut yesterday.
And then they signed TJ Yates, I saw.
There you go.
And Arian Foster looks to be out for the season as well.
And potentially career. Achilles
I feel
30?
like... Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of speculation as to whether he ever returns.
It's safe to say he played his last Texans game at least, potentially last game of his career, I think.
Pretty sad, too, because even I was reading on Twitter, they were saying that's a guy who, whenever he comes back, it's always electric and people love it. And to see that happen, it's brutal.
Whenever he plays, he looks like one of the best players in the league.
Oh, absolutely.
The problem is he only plays an average of 9 yards a year.
Yeah.
Right? Like...
Yeah, no, and it's really tough, obviously. And he was having a good game against Miami again. He was having one of those Foster days where he was catching and running the ball very well, and then there was injury popped up again. And
you always kind of get a little pit in your stomach whenever you see Arian Foster get hit.
Yeah, because you never know when it's going to be the last one, like Christian kind of mentioned. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what about the Dolphins in that game? Lamar Miller had a hell of a game. Tannehill had a very good game.
Tannehill had a very good first half.
Yeah, 18 for 19, 282 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
He didn't throw an incompletion until the second half.
Yeah, and he only had one all game, 18 for 19, like I said. And Lamar Miller just carried the workload, 175 yards rushing.
I think didn't Tannehill have a perfect quarterback rating that game too? It's pretty crazy considering it's Ryan Tannehill.
Hey, well, you know what? Up until the Bills game, it had been... I don't know how many months and how many games since he threw an interception.
He's never been a bad quarterback, but he's never been a guy you'd assume...
He's not a guy that you say, I can't wait, like Ryan Tannehill kind of thing. Like
he's not worth $100 million, Miami.
Yeah.
But...
And Ndamukong Suh is not looking like that either.
Not with Dan Campbell, though.
Not with Dan Campbell.
With Dan Campbell there, everyone's looking good on that team.
Yep.
I like his energy and the press conferences and that, and on the sideline afterwards and that. I think it shows something that this Miami team has needed.
Yeah, and I had mentioned that after the Bills game. I said I won't be surprised if they gave the last coach kind of his last chance, and they ended up losing and he was fired.
It's such a stark contrast between Philbin and him, though.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I said. Even watching the Bills game, Philbin just did not look like the coach of the Dolphins.
He's a zombie on the sidelines.
Exactly, there was no energy. It reminded me of Dick Sharon when he was with the Bills. The guy never had a facial expression, and just as fans watching it made you depressed. You had a losing product, plus you had a coach who didn't look like he cared really. So
which, I mean, is okay to do if you're Bill Belichick. But if you're anyone else...
Bill Belichick, because everyone's doing the work for you, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And anyone other than Bill Belichick, you can't be, deadpan as a coach.
No, I agree.
Sticking with the Texans division, though, what do you guys think on the Colts now?
Andrew Luck is... I don't know.
This has been a collapse of a...
I do not know.
They're extremely lucky they're in the division that they're in right now.
It's true.
Extremely lucky.
You think Pagano gets fired?
Yeah. This guy's talking that his job's safe. I don't know what he's thinking right now.
I feel like if they lose next week, he should be fired.
I agree. And Hasselbeck should start.
Yeah, I think they're going to give
this isn't even a joke that we've been reoccurring. I honestly think Hasselbeck should maybe...
The Huss?
I think they're going to give Pagano the rest of the season, and then he'll be gone at the end.
I don't think they should, though. And Irsay doesn't seem like the type of guy who's going to let him play out.
You think the reason that his job is safe is because how weak that division really is, though?
Probably.
Because they could still win that division.
And that's what I was going to say. I think because the Colts, in realistic terms, they are still in that division. So I think that's the reason his job is safe.
I feel like with the average age of the players on that offense being 92, that Hasselbeck at quarterback might actually be a better deal than Andrew Luck trying to force bombs deep down the field to guys who can run 5-6s as receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, Hasselbeck looked better in the games he played, in my opinion.
Hasselbeck looks better for the offense that they're trying to run.
I agree.
Right?
Luck threw for 333 yards, but he also just threw a plethora of
No one's going to argue that Matt Hasselbeck is a more talented quarterback than Andrew Luck.
No,
but for that offense, the way they're running the offense, what they need him to do, Hasselbeck has looked better.
Yeah,
right, and he hasn't turned the ball over like crazy. Like
he
Luck
finds
has.
Andre Johnson, and he's actually noticeable when Hasselbeck's in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. But also the Saints, they had a very good game. Mark Ingram, 14 carries, 143 yards, and a touchdown. Ingram's starting to look again like that running back and that pass threat that he has been the past couple of years. He's really picked it up last couple.
I think New Orleans, as a team, has forgotten it's 2015.
Yeah.
They think it's 2009 again, and they're actually a good team.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The way they've been playing recently, they're looking like that good New Orleans team. Like, they started the season very slow, but against Atlanta this week as well, they're playing decent football.
The problem is Atlanta and Carolina are in their division.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're almost too far ahead as is
Yeah,
right now.
you let them out to too big of a lead at this point, right? Like the Saints already sitting with 4 losses on the season.
Yeah,
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Yeah, 4 losses on the season. Atlanta with 1, Carolina with 0. It's
kind of a bad situation for New Orleans, but at least it's something to kind of build upon, that they still might have something there going with the players they have. Obviously, they're going to have to make
in other words,
tweaks.
get a defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Which they've needed for years.
Yeah, for like 4 years.
Since Super Bowl, basically.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Carolina, who wins that division? If you had to pick right now.
I think Atlanta's the better team, and Atlanta has a weaker schedule going forward, so I'm going to go with Atlanta.
It depends on the scheduling, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cam Newton's still not an MVP to me, but he is playing some damn good football as well.
He's in the MVP conversation.
He's in but I don't think he is.
But he's not going to top Brady and Rodgers.
They stress MVP too much on stats sometimes, where if you take Cam off that team, there's no way they're 6-0.
It's true.
Regardless
as to what his stats are, he doesn't have any pieces around him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's playing
the
with
most
a torn up
valuable
team.
player, which is what the
exactly. And that's what I was going to
called.
say. That's what the trophy is. It's who basically excels that team past what they're supposed to be. And I'll use hockey as an example with the MVP, where I believe it was when Sidney Crosby got hurt and Evgeny Malkin carried that team. And at the time, Malkin was a young kid, and he was up for the MVP candidate because he took the team and carried it basically himself. Mm-hmm. And in football, I think it's got to be looking like that to other players like Cam Newton.
I think Christian makes a good point in that, yes, Cam Newton, in that he's the most valuable player to his team, but you're also comparing him to the entire league of players, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to take Newton off of that team and substitute him with Brady or Rodgers,
oh yeah, no, for sure,
they would be doing
probably the same
yeah,
thing.
It'd still look good, right? So you can't really just say, yeah, he's the most valuable to his team, but yeah, Brady is extremely valuable to his team and Rodgers is extremely valuable to his too, right? So
I just like seeing different people win sometimes,
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing.
It's true.
We talk about Rodgers every week. Clearly,
you'd like to see different players win every week, but if someone is logically the best player in the league by a wide margin, what are you going to do?
Yeah, no,
you can't take that away from
you can't
them.
just not give it to him because he has too many before, like in the NBA.
Yeah, where
ridiculous. You just don't award it to someone 3 years in a row. It's like the NBA is like the American presidency. They can't get 3 terms in a row.
Biggest pet peeve with the NBA. They hate giving it to the same person. Like Steve Nash, when he should have won the third, he had better stats in the first 2 years he won.
To be fair, he shouldn't have won the first one.
Okay,
it should have still been 2 in a row, but it should have been the last 2 instead of the first 2.
I don't remember signing up to be on full court this week.
See, he didn't even call it the right name.
Front court, full court, whatever. See, that's how much I know.
Flaking like usual.
Basketball is not my forte, all right?
Flaking on the
Names
shameless
of the
plugs.
shows.
I think we're gonna have to take a cut out of his contract here.
While you're on the website, go check out the basketball podcast.
If the website ever gets back up.
Front court.
Front court,
Yeah,
sorry.
the front court. But anyway, getting back to football now. How about that comeback in Washington?
Dun, dun, dun.
Biggest comeback in Redskins history. 24 seconds to go, they go up 31-30, and then the Buccaneers fumble at the last second.
Can we say that word on the podcast? Redskins.
I don't know.
I just don't want to get angry letters.
We'll have to contact some people.
And Washington
have to ask
stays
them.
in the division with that win too.
Unbelievable. Like
Kirk
that.
Cousins.
Did you see him after the game?
Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
I try not to see Kirk Cousins during the game.
Kirk
He
Cousins.
had a great game though.
After the game, he did an interview, and he was walking by like the screen where they do interviews with the players and the coaches. He walked by, and it was just like it was so kind of awkward because he just screamed. He's like, "That's how we do! That's how we do!" Smacking his helmet like he was going nuts. Like he was loving it.
He had some Aaron Rodgers-esque numbers. 33 for 40,
Breaks his hand,
317,
smacking his
3
helmet.
TDs.
He
Huge
had a
game.
heck of a game, yeah.
He definitely played a great game. I still think Colt McCoy should be the starter in Washington, but
So we're almost, I would say, almost at the halfway point of the season. What do you guys think of James Winston so far?
I think he's exactly what I expected him to be coming in.
And
He's
that
a
is-
developmental project. He's not. He has all the talent in the world to become an incredible quarterback, but he has to. Then again, so did Jamarcus Russell, right?
Yeah.
You have. If he puts in the effort, he gets the right pieces around him, the right coaching staff, he can develop into a great quarterback. But at this point in his early career, he is exactly what I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Work in progress, I think, is a fair way to kind of look at it. And, I don't think he's going to be a bust. He has, like you said,
I don't think
has
he's
the
going to be a
tools.
bust. I
Yeah.
do think Mariota's going to be better.
So do I.
Yeah, the way it's looking right now, yeah,
Mariota came in as an NFL-ready quarterback, right? Jameis Winston came in as a guy who, like you said, needs to be developed. He's a developmental project, right? But I think Mariota has. I don't want to use the word intelligence, but like more football
knowledge.
Yeah, like when he's on the field, he seems like a more composed guy, right? Like
Yeah.
he can run through things better, right? Like Jameis Winston reminds me a lot of Cam Newton when he runs an offense. Whereas, yeah, he's a great player, but he doesn't necessarily look like the guy who's, knowledgeable running the offense.
Or Mariota looks more like a
it,
Manning where he
right?
sees everything.
Exactly.
He sees
And
what the defense
that's
is coming.
exactly the comparisons I was going to make. Was when I look at Winston, I think of Cam Newton in his rookie year, and Mariota, I think of more a guy, a pocket passer who kind of sits back and waits, but he's not afraid to kind of move.
Two things on Mariota, and with your comparison, I'll get to that in a second. But another thing was coming through college, though, too. We already knew that he had that ability to read defenses, to know stuff like that. I mean, the guy threw like 10 interceptions in 3 years in college. He knows how to read an defense. Sorry. And two, with the comparison, I compare him a lot to Steve Young.
Yeah, I could see it.
Because Steve Young had that composure in the pocket, that leadership ability and everything. He could throw on the run. He could get out of the pocket and run all the same ways that Mariota can.
Yeah, I like that we just have some realistic comparisons, though, as opposed to the experts.
Well,
Dan Marino,
Joe
Joe Montana, Vic.
well, I mean, Steve Young is a Hall of Fame quarterback,
No, I
too.
know.
It's just, I really like their
But
play styles are so
Steve
similar.
Young's not a
That
guy
makes
like...
more sense to me, though, than comparing him to Marino, Montana, and saying he's a combined force of the best quarterbacks of all time.
And that's what I mean. Like, when you say the name Steve Young, it doesn't pop out as it should, but it doesn't pop out as
it's
much
such a
as
boring
somebody
name.
like a Joe Montana or a Dan Marino kind of thing.
And Steve Young had Jerry Rice, let's be fair, as well, right?
Yep.
So
Steve Young
But,
had Jerry Rice longer than Montana did.
But back
Exactly.
with Winston, had a decent game, 21 for 29, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans caught 164 yards, more than basically half of the passing yards that Winston put up.
Well, you look at the pieces that are there in Tampa Bay for Winston, too, and they're not bad pieces.
Yeah, like
he's
Vincent
got
Jackson's
Vincent
no
Jackson,
slouch.
he's got Mike Evans, he's got Doug Martin.
Doug Martin had a heck of a game,
Right.
too, 136
that
yards.
tight end's
If
played
Doug
all
Martin,
right, too.
if Doug
for
Martin
Tampa.
could learn to catch a football,
Yeah.
then we'd be fine.
No, and I think the thing with Tampa Bay is their whole team is kind of a
Young.
work in progress to mesh, and exactly, they're young. I don't think it's any point to panic. Like, they won't make the playoffs this year. But they're going to be a good team, I think, down the road if they could keep the core pieces, especially the offense, together, like the guys like Evans, Winston, Doug Martin. All those guys kind of together, I think they could be a force to be reckoned with in a couple years.
Yeah, I agree that they're on the upward trend.
And then speaking of Mariota, his team lost without him, 10-7. Bigger surprise for you, Atlanta only winning by 3 or Atlanta only scoring 10 points?
Definitely Atlanta only scoring 10 points.
Atlanta
Yeah,
will be
agreed.
scoring 10. I agree.
But I still thought they'd blow them out without Mariota. I mean, Zach Mettenberger, ugh.
Atlanta's, for the first time this season, Atlanta's defense looked good. Right? They've looked meh all year, and the offense had to put up 40 points to win them games every game. This week, the offense did not look particularly good, and they still pulled it out because the defense managed to hold the Zach Mettenbergers to only 7 points.
And
But what
Freeman
about-
had another huge game
Exactly
again.
what I was
Over
gonna say,
100
yeah.
yards, 116 on 25 carries.
Who would have called Freeman leading the league in rushing by week 8?
No one. Julio Jones also had another good week, 92 receiving yards again and a touchdown.
Yeah, but that's like a pedestrian game for Julio Jones.
Yeah,
That's
and-
like,
Well, that was like when they had said at the beginning of the year to Julio Jones, like, you're on pace to like break the records. He's like, that's it. He's like, I need more.
when you look at 9 catches, 92 yards, that's not Julio Jones-esque.
It's more
Maybe if
like,
it was
yeah,
like 5 catches, 92 yards.
yeah, then he's like, all right, better.
But if he gets the ball 9 times in a game, you expect like 150 yards out of the guy.
Currently, Jones is top 3 in receiving. I know Keenan Allen from San Diego's ahead of him, and I can't remember who the other one was. Or there's one behind him. I can't remember if he's second or third. I can't remember that off the top of my head. But I know Allen is first from San Diego.
Isn't first... I know who it is too. I can picture him, but I can't say his name for
We'll
whatever
look
reason.
that up. But moving on to the other games, what other games stood out to you guys this week? And let's not.
Well, of
go
course,
over
that Patriots-Jets game.
That was a very good game. We all knew coming into it, though, that that'd be a good game.
Tom
Patriots-Jets
Brady.
games are can't-miss games.
Tom Brady, fifth quarterback with 55,000 yards plus. He joins Drew Brees, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre.
Which
Yeah,
is
it
some
was,
solid company to be
Yeah,
put in
I was going
with.
to say that's not a bad place to be.
Might even be the best out of those.
Eventually.
Oh,
He's definitely the most efficient out of any of them.
okay,
and
yeah, that's very true.
And
So receiving yards, just to get back to this quick, it's DeAndre Hopkins.
That's who I was thinking of.
776, Julio
Jones,
730, and then
730,
Keenan Allen at 690,
690. Yeah.
Antonio Brown 671, and
Fitz.
Jeff's boy Fitzy at 622.
Yeah, who's having a career renaissance along with 90% of that Cardinals team.
The thing that's crazy to me looking at that stat is DeAndre Hopkins is first, and he doesn't really have a quarterback. Does it scare you
Brian
if that
Hoyer.
guy ever had like a
Brian
really
Hoyer.
good quarterback?
Hey, his starting quarterback from the beginning of the year is now, jobless.
Agent.
And to be fair, they have no other offensive weapons on that team. Foster was out at the beginning
I
of
was
the
gonna
year.
say if they had Foster, that would be it. But
No
Have you-
Andre.
Have you been talking to Ryan Mallett at all?
have I been talking?
Like helping
to Ryan
him brush
Mallett?
up on his flaking skills?
Yeah, here we go.
'Cause,
I was waiting for it.
Because, I
So-
mean, how are you a quarterback and you can't get on the plane on
Yeah,
time?
breaking
You're a
news.
quarterback, man.
Especially when you got
Like-
guys like Dez who were injured, weren't supposed to be in the city, hopped on a commercial flight to be with his team.
Well, I mean, Mallett
The
got there,
complete
but I mean,
opposite
like,
of flaking.
At least he showed up.
I mean, yeah, he got there. He's not quite on Proto's level yet, but he got there. But, like,
Here it is.
you're a quarterback, man. You've got to be there with your team.
No, I
Right?
agree.
Especially when they're jumping back and forth between him and Hoyer as starters. You never know. You could show up at the game and be like, yeah, you're starting today.
That's my quarterback. That's my team, man.
Man, I don't think Hopkins is going to be having any interviews like that following the Mallett.
I think Hopkins just looks at his quarterbacks and says, "If I don't get the ball, like you're next." Basically,
it's like, who else are you going to throw to?
yeah, no one exactly.
Just walks into the huddle, be like, we know the play. It's coming to me.
Yeah, okay, we're not running it, so Hopkins just run any route you want.
Yeah.
We're giving you the
Arian's
ball.
hurt. We're not running it. Just throw the ball.
Yeah,
Throw
well-
it to Hopkins.
Well, now it's Alfred Blue's time to step up in Houston.
There's a name.
Alfred Blue. Hey, you know he does decent a lot of the times when Foster goes out.
Bet
He's
they're-
obviously not Arian Foster, but now is his real big chance.
He wasn't
I
doing
think.
much at the beginning of the year. I think he only
No.
had one game over 100
But last
yards.
season, the games
did
that
well
Foster
last
was
year,
out,
yeah.
and that's what I mean. Now
Is-
it's his time to step in with Foster being out long term.
Is Ben Tate still a free agent? Has anyone picked him up?
I know the Cowboys worked him out in the offseason. I don't think they signed him, though. Well, like,
I
I know they
couldn't tell
didn't
you.
sign him. So I think he might be a free agent.
Yeah, I was going to say he's probably still a free agent.
Because I hear they might be splitting
'Cause
the
he could always come
carries
back
with Blue
with
and
Houston.
Folk.
Eh.
Or Polk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like,
I'll look that up right now. With
not that it matters. They'll just get into the huddle and go, all right, Hopkins, what do you want to run this one? Down. Okay, you're doing a streak? We're doing a
Break.
streak, guys. Break. Everybody block.
Everyone, yeah.
Just
Everyone
goes
just crowd
over
around
to
him.
the ref, be like, are you calling an eligible receiver? No. Everyone but Hopkins is ineligible.
Ben
just-
Tate is still a free agent.
Speaking of eligible and ineligible receivers, how mad was Harbaugh after that call?
It was a pretty brutal call.
To be fair, and everyone knows I'm a Cardinals fan, so obviously I love the fact that it was called the way it was. But to be fair, he did declare. He walked up to the ref and declared before he walked on. Yet they called. I'm not sure if it's come out yet whether they were calling it because of the ineligible receiver or he just messed up and it was a an ineligible formation. Like, I think it might have been the way he lined up, not the fact that he was eligible.
Yeah, I think it could have been.
But he called ineligible receiver. Like, the ref said ineligible receiver when he called it. But I think he might have gotten a little confused. But if that was the call, it was the wrong call.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird one. It was kind of looked at it and said, oh, okay.
But, like, they showed the replay. It showed him running out and telling him, I'm eligible, and then going off to line up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it was probably just a mistake at the end. Which, unfortunately...
And the ref can't say he didn't see it either, because they made eye contact.
Yeah,
like, you can see them staring at each other.
Flag.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't like him. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I see you. I see... Done.
Especially... And I don't know... And Bruce Arians seems like the kind of guy that would do this because of that, but I don't know if he did or not, but he comes on the very next drive, he sends out one of his linemen as eligible, and he declares eligible. They don't throw it to him, but he declares eligible. I feel like Bruce Arians might have just been doing that to...
just as a troll, almost. Just like, let's see what happens.
Because Arians does that, man. He's just that kind of guy.
We had the Thursday night game last week where, I don't think, shockingly, as we said, we all picked Seattle for...
Oh, no, Jeff picked the 49ers.
I did pick the 49ers.
Me and Christian picked Seattle, and it was a 20-3 victory for the Seattle Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch looked really good in the game, 122 yards. He's starting to look kind of like himself again. Russell Wilson's still kind of in between. He had a decent game, but nothing too crazy. And then the 49ers look like the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, man.
The 49ers looked like they're coached by Jim Tomsula.
Colin Kaepernick, 13 completions, 124 yards, and that's it, really. Mm. I just have no words for the 49ers. Really.
It's funny because if you look at numbers Rodgers is putting up, it would take Kaepernick about 3 or 4 games to get one game's worth of yards that Rodgers puts up.
Well,
right
to
now.
be fair, that's half the quarterbacks in the league at this point.
Well, Rodgers isn't huge on yards. He's just extremely efficient and throws a lot of touchdowns. He usually doesn't need to throw a lot of yards because his team's winning by 30 points by the time they get to the fourth quarter.
What's Cap's total yards for the year?
Cap, I can find that out for you now.
I can guarantee you he's ahead of Bridgewater.
Did Phillip Rivers get more yards than he has for the season in that one game almost?
No, definitely not. He's definitely at like 800 or something like that, if not over 1,000.
What's your guys' guess on Kaepernick's total yards?
I want to say 1,263.
I'm going 874.
1,453.
A lot more than I thought.
I was 210 off. It's fine. I was one game off.
6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Oof.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And he's got a rating of 82.8. Mm-hmm. Not good from
which is still way better than EJ Manuel.
Listen.
You lost to the Jags, I'd like to remind you.
Yeah,
you know what?
The
Jaguars.
Know.
Right? We lost in England. Like, shout out, you know what? They got a decent game. I'm just sad that they had to watch EJ Manuel be a dumpster fire and just the rest of the Bills team. Like,
their starters at quarterback were Blake Bortles and EJ Manuel for that game.
And starting receivers.
For a team that's supposed to have a good defense.
Wait, they started receivers?
Yeah, Woods. The starter on Bills.
Marcus Easley had 1 catch for 58 yards. That's it. And the touchdown, which it was a beautiful play, but then EJ Manuel. That's all I got to say.
He manualed it.
Tyrod Taylor, please hurry up. If you listen to this podcast, you have the bye week.
Which he obviously does. Come on.
Yeah. Sit at home, ice everything, take a hot bath, and just come back, please. We need you.
TJ Yeldon had another good game for the Jags, though.
That's something I want to touch on. The Bills' defense was supposed to be good. They suck. They are awful right now. And you let Yeldon run 115 yards past the likes of Jerry Hughes, Mario Williams, and Kyle Williams. Disgusting.
To be fair,
that's his second or third 100-yard game of the year, though.
Disgusting.
To be fair, the Bills were supposed to have a great defensive line, and they're all based on pass rushing on that defensive line. They were never supposed to have a great linebacking core or DBs.
Just awful. I'm glad there's a bye week, so I don't have to watch another.
When
loss.
you break that first level against Buffalo, you're gone. Like, if you get past that first level, there's no one on that defense that can stop you.
Yeah, no. If you run past the front 3, the cornerbacks are busy with the receiver because that's the only other guys we got on defense is Mikal Roby and his name. I'm forgetting his name already. Oh boy, Stephon Gilmore. There we go. Yeah.
I was going to say Tony.
Other than Tony the Tiger Flake, he doesn't show up to stop the pass. Other than those,
Proto running onto the field.
Other than like those 5, the defense is nothing. Can we stop talking about the Bills?
The next Buffalo game, we got to send Proto to it. He's going to run onto the field and knock down a pass. Just go, what?
I did it, guys. Look, that's how you do.
See, it's not that hard.
So after the week, we still got 5 teams that are 6-0.
Although most of them had buys.
Who stays undefeated after this week? They're all playing. So we got the Pack, Patriots, Bengals, Panthers, Broncos, all still undefeated. And this, by the way, first time in history that 5 teams start 6-0.
Yeah, and it's
who are the Patriots playing this week?
The Patriots, they play the Dolphins.
I was hoping for Bills.
No, like I said, bye week. We can't lose this week.
None of them are in a bye. None of the undefeated teams are in a bye this week.
Knowing the Bills' luck quickly, during the bye week, we're going to lose another player to injury and still lose during a bye week.
They gave you the game loss in the loss column.
Just loss under bye week.
Well, I know 2 of them are playing this week. Yeah. Green Bay and Denver are playing each other this week, and I think it's going to be a blowout for Green Bay.
I'm with you on it.
Because Denver has a good defense, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't care if they have a good defense or not. And Denver's offense is awful.
Yeah, Green Bay should win that game.
I think Bengals are going to pick up their first loss, too.
Who are they playing?
Steelers.
No.
Big Ben.
Roethlisberger's back. Roethlisberger's back, but...
If Roethlisberger plays, I won't be surprised.
Statement game from the Steelers.
If Roethlisberger plays, I won't be surprised if Pittsburgh wins. But if not, there's no way they're beating Cincinnati.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't exactly call Cincinnati's looked really, really good this year, and they haven't shown me anything to believe that they would lose that game until the playoffs. If it was the playoffs, they'd lose that game.
Playoffs, they might lose.
If it was the playoffs, they'd lose that game. But no, I think the Patriots and Packers easily stay undefeated. I think they'll come right down in the last couple weeks of the year.
They play Colts Monday.
Yeah, unless they start the Haas.
Yeah, it's always that one thing.
If they start the Haas, then Indy has a chance. But otherwise, no. Otherwise, 4 picks.
I can't wait for it to be Luck's breakthrough game, and then we're all just sitting here
It probably will be because we're ripping him apart this week.
Well, that's
he's going to have a ridiculously good game.
He's my fantasy QB, so we can lip him off all day.
Every time
waiting
we
for
talk
a nice
bad about a
performance.
player, something happens like that where things go good for that player. Like Peyton Manning, the one week we were like, he's lost it, he's a noodle, and then he put up.
To be fair, though, he has lost it.
And to be fair, he is a noodle.
And to be fair, I dropped him from my fantasy team because of that.
And to be fair, you are a flake.
All right, you made it personal. We're talking about Peyton Manning.
You flaked on Manning on your fantasy team. How about the Giants-Cowboys game this week, though? I think most of us probably watched that one because the other game going on was terrible. The Oakland game was
Cole Beasley.
It was the most boring blowout ever. But
most boring blowout ever.
Yeah, the Oakland game. There was nothing interesting to watch in that game. San Diego didn't even make a shot at it until near the end of the game.
So what did you think about Matt Castle?
Better than Whedon, but still no Romo.
He's nothing.
He did throw 3 interceptions, so...
Like I said, he got cut from the Bills.
He got traded. He didn't get cut.
Well, he got cut
and
because
then
they didn't want to give him less money.
All right, guys.
But right now, you think you want Castle over EJ?
No.
You're lying.
They're the same, really.
I'd take Castle.
Yeah, so would I.
Manuel's younger. I'll take EJ.
At least Castle can game manage.
But how about McFadden playing a college game?
152 yards.
Yeah,
throwback
touchdown.
And a touchdown, yeah. Throwback. But Jason Witten. Sorry, I was going to say Jameis Winston. Look at him catching the ball.
He looks like a tight end. Why not?
Been steady all year again.
Been playing very good
steady
again, even
year.
without his quarterback. He's been playing very well.
He's that go-to.
Yep.
Especially with Witten out.
Odell Beckham Jr. got shut down again by that's been happening quite a bit this year.
By a weak Cowboys
defense.
He almost got in 3 fights though, so.
The more I've watched him, I love his talent, but as a person, his attitude, I can't stand Odell Beckham Jr.
It's true. He likes to mouth off people that are significantly more veteran than him.
He's a baby. When he doesn't catch the ball, he starts throwing punches at players. Like he's like a toddler who like they take away his toy, the football, and he just gets so upset about it. Like
I like how last week too, and again to saying what we were saying about everything the opposite of what we say happens. After last week when we talked up Eli Manning about his MVP chances and that, he comes out and throws 170 yards and no touchdowns. Like
there it was. There goes his MVP. Sorry.
Yeah,
Eli.
like that's.
Sorry, Eli. We ruined it for you, buddy.
Sorry about that. We'll send you a card.
We should start calling us the Break the Rams.
Yeah.
We're killing players all over the league too.
Just call us the Hamilton Rams. It's fine.
We'll send EJ like a little, or not EJ. We'll send Manning a little like gold trophy that says at least you tried for the MVP race.
We're sorry.
We're sorry. Yeah, we ruined every chance that you had, buddy. Speaking of other undefeated teams, we had the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, they won again, moved to 6-0. Cam Newton had a decent game, only 14 completions, incomplete 10 passes, but 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Jonathan Stewart had a heck of a game again, 125 yards rushing. But besides them, the Philadelphia Eagles, what's going on?
They're just not a very good team.
No.
Point blank period.
Yeah, they don't mesh well.
They're not. No.
They didn't build that team with any form of intelligence whatsoever. They got a bunch of name guys that all play the same position and threw them on the team. And I mean, kudos to Bradford for staying healthy this long. But other than that, like,
is this his longest stretch of his career?
No, he started every game his rookie year.
Okay,
and then it went south.
But you know what? The thing with Bradford is he's not. A lot of people are turning on him in Philadelphia. Like they want to see something else. DeMarco Murray, like he's just been
Mark Sanchez.
I don't understand why Sanchez isn't getting
put in the butt fumble.
But in regards to the Eagles, like DeMarco Murray's been so inconsistent, and I think it's something we've talked about on the show before, where sometimes you don't get enough carries or chances to kind of get that consistency. So it's been very tough, kind of with DeMarco Murray over there in Philly.
But the last couple games, he's had this steady workload. He just misses that Dallas line. I said this at the beginning of the year. He was either A, going to get hurt from the big workload he had in Dallas, or B, we're going to see that he really isn't as good as everyone thought he was because of that line in Dallas.
I just said right from the beginning he's not a very good running back. Like he's an average level NFL running back that was made to look good.
Yeah.
So other than that, we'll quickly touch upon the other games that we haven't spoken about. So quick thoughts on the Raiders and Chargers game. As we mentioned, like I said,
I knew the Raiders were going to win.
It was the most boring blowout for 3 quarters that I've ever seen, and then the Chargers finally put something together and started to look like a football team, but it was too late at that point.
Yeah, exactly. It just got too late for Chargers. If they were able to consistently put up a couple points.
The first 3 quarters, Oakland was destroying them, but nothing exciting happened. I don't understand how you can put up 30 points with nothing exciting happening.
It was 37-6 after the third. Unbelievable. Obviously, we touched on that game. We also have the Browns and Rams. Rams winning 24-6.
And I'm pretty sure they killed another player. Who'd they get this week?
I like that.
No, they did. They got someone. Wow, it just left my mind. I know they did.
The Rams need to rename their team the Headhunters. Just the St. Louis Assassins.
They like every team, like we always mention and kind of joke about here. It seems like every team that they play, they hurt somebody. Like they're just a very good front seven, as you mentioned at the beginning, Christian.
And Carroll's starting a petition to have them removed from the NFL just because
please stop the defense. They're hurting everyone.
Yeah. The Vikings with another win. Bridgewater's 4th 300-yard passing game of his career.
4th 300-yard passing game of his career.
But then again, they played the Lions. So.
They played the Lions, have a terrible pass defense.
It sucks being a Bills fan, but being a Lions fan has to probably be up there because you get a year where you're good and then your hopes go up and then you almost lose every game again. It always happens.
They're historically the 2nd worst franchise in NFL history.
Who's the word? Oh, Arizona, sick. It's not
Arizona has more losses.
No, we're not talking about losses in the championship.
Arizona has more losses than any team in NFL history.
I did not know that.
And no Super Bowls. 1 championship in Chicago.
We're there together, buddy. Christian's seen the Cowboys, so he's okay.
When he was 1.
At least they go.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least they won. Listen, I didn't watch the 4 Super Bowl losses, so they don't count, all right? Falcons-Titans we already touched on. The other game, we mentioned the Bills-Jaguars. We mentioned all the games from last week. So overall thoughts of last week, what did you guys think? Exciting, boring, in between?
Why the heck did Carson Palmer throw that pass?
Oh, man.
We did not touch on Arizona.
Seriously.
Absolutely brutal.
I don't understand.
Brutal.
But let's start
why
with
was
this.
Why was it a pass play in the first place?
And then when you got 3rd and 22 to try and seal the game, then you run it.
Yeah.
Let's start with this. Jonathan Cooper had a decent game.
Great
Jonathan
game,
Cooper did have a good game.
Well done, Jonathan. Look,
It's okay,
he's
Johnny.
been hearing us.
It's okay, Johnny.
We let people off say
But-
they're bad, they do good. We say people are doing
Jonathan
bad, they
Cooper
do
did it.
good.
See,
Yeah.
Jonathan Cooper is so bad, though, that it took him 2 weeks from when we ripped him off to do it. But, no, like, I touched on it last week, too. The reason we lost that game was terrible fourth quarter play calling. And then now, this week, 2:20 left in the game, you have a chance to get it down at least under the 2-minute warning, right?
Yeah.
And you call a pass play.
On 2nd and 3, wasn't it, too?
Yeah, no, it was 2nd and 10, but
2nd and
still,
10, yeah.
you call a pass play, and then on top of that, he rolls out. If he gets sacked and goes down, whatever. We roll it down to the 2-minute warning, run one more play, drop it down to 1 minute left in the game. By the time we punt it off, they have 40 seconds, right? Instead, he throws the ball. Why would you throw the ball?
Gets an intentional
This isn't
grounding,
Detroit.
loses the down, and then it's 3rd
Yeah,
and 22.
gets an intentional grounding. Yeah, gets an intentional grounding,
And
brings the ball back even further, then run the ball on 3rd and 20.
The Brett Favre call just came back in my mind. This isn't Detroit. This is the Super Bowl. Like, that's what I thought when I saw that play. I was like, this looks just like the Brett Favre play. I was like, it's all over again. Like, if he throws an interception,
But like,
this is going to be
I don't
marvelous.
I don't even blame Palmer for all of that. I blame him for a bit of it, for not taking the sack and just going down. But I mean, to be fair, this is a guy who came off of ACL surgery
gonna
last
say,
year.
this
He
is
doesn't
also
really
an
want
older
to
guy,
get hit,
exactly.
Yeah.
right? But why do you call a passing play?
That's what I was going to say. I think it's almost a fear of being an older guy. And, you know, he's on a good roll this season. You don't want to see him go out. He doesn't want to go out.
Slide.
So
Yeah, or just lay down
that's
and
what I
then
mean,
wait
yeah.
for someone to touch
And I think
you.
it was a moment of panic from the veteran quarterback that he just kind of threw the
But
ball.
that shouldn't happen with
It
a
should-
veteran.
Exactly. No, and especially somebody like Carson Palmer.
It
who
shouldn't
we've
have
seen
even
do
gotten to
well.
that point in the first place,
Exactly.
though.
'Cause
it
That
should have been a
have
run,
that
yeah.
should have been a handoff up the middle to Ellington. That should have been the play.
Even Chris Johnson, like, who was having a
Chris
decent
Johnson
game.
hadn't played the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but I mean,
kinda sat
just
out,
anyone.
but-
Like, they could have ran the ball at that point. They have Ellington and Johnson. Like,
They have Ellington, Chris Johnson, and David Johnson. They got a
Exactly.
three-headed monster at running back, and for some reason,
They
they
pass,
throw the
yeah.
ball. Like,
exactly.
So after last week, who's your updated top 5? Still all the undefeated teams, or
I think I'm keeping mine the same.
yeah, I got Pats, Pack, Bengals, Panthers, Broncos.
Yeah.
there wasn't really enough to shake it up too much that happened last week, especially with most of the big teams having buys. But I gotta say, Pats 1, Packers 2, probably Bengals 3.
I have to have the Panthers over the Broncos right now.
Yeah.
Oh, the Broncos aren't even in my top 5. They haven't done anything to convince me that they deserve to be there. And of all the teams that are undefeated, they've had the weakest schedule. But my 4 would be Atlanta, 5 would be Carolina. So, not really much of a shake-up.
Yeah,
but
I can't remember.
We could
if
see
I
it
had-
change this week, though.
I can't remember if I had Carolina in my top 5 last week, but if I didn't, they are for sure. And if I did have Denver, I agree. I'd probably drop them out for Carolina.
So we want to get into this week?
yeah, let's talk
Yeah,
what's happening
all right.
this week.
So we got the Thursday night game. We got the Miami Dolphins against the New England Patriots.
Patriots.
Even though it's a Thursday game, it's the Patriots.
Yeah, New England.
I think New England is the only team that the Thursday night game thing doesn't affect.
And maybe Green Bay.
When they look at their calendar, it just says Sunday. Like, they
Yeah.
don't have any other days on there.
It just is game.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
Up next, we got the 1-6 Lions against the 2-5 Chiefs. Hey, the
Ooh.
Chiefs won last week.
Who's your Super Bowl pick?
Not the Chiefs anymore.
I got the Chiefs in this game, though.
Yeah,
Detroit's just too bad.
Watch the Chiefs come back and make it to the Super Bowl.
3-5 Chiefs.
Crazy.
I got
Told
the.
you.
Finish
It was-
11
it was
and 5.
all along, yeah.
I'm taking the Lions.
All along.
I'm taking the
On
Lions.
the road?
On the road because, come on, if you're Detroit, would you rather play on the road or at home?
True.
Ooh.
No.
I'm going Kansas City in this one.
Yeah, I got Casey.
I'm going Detroit just because every time KC plays good one week, they come back the next week and lay a complete egg. I think they don't score a touchdown. I think they score 13 points on field goals. Like Because, I don't know. It just...
Yeah, at this point, it's almost not surprising. Up next, we got the Buccaneers against the Falcons. I'm taking Atlanta in this one. I think they're going to win pretty big.
I got Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I just put them at number 4 in my chart. I'm not going to take them over the Jameis Winston-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wants me to say take the Bucs as the upset, but I'm going to stick with Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going to go Atlanta for this one. Then we got the Arizona Cardinals against the Cleveland Browns. I don't think anyone's picking Cleveland, right?
No.
Cardinals, but it'll be closer than you think.
I'm going to take the Cardinals because they've turned back, and it will be close because they've turned back into the cardiac cards, and every game now has to come down to the last 4 seconds to see who wins. So yeah.
I think it'll be maybe by 7 or so, 7 or 6.
I think 27-24.
Okay, fair pick. Well, English lost. 49ers against the Rams.
Rams, big.
The injure Cap.
Ooh, bold prediction.
Not
Yeah,
really
I'm going
that
for.
bold.
I was about to say I'm going 49er. No, I'm going Rams. Up next, we got the Giants and the Saints.
Saints.
I'm taking the Saints. They
Big.
seem to be on a pretty decent roll right now, so I'm going to go with
2
New Orleans.
touchdowns they win by.
Like I said, the Saints are revitalized. They're playing again like they were back when they were actually a good team. And they are at home, so I don't think I could really go against them the way they're playing right now at home. I'm going to take the Saints.
All right. So, yeah, we're all going Saints on that one then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we got the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings.
Agreed.
150 yards from AP.
Potential game of the week, San
If he
Diego
doesn't
Chargers.
swallow tobacco.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on that.
Right.
To be fair,
Wow.
I know people that have swallowed tobacco.
Oh, it's terrible.
That would make me not want to play football for the day.
But you're a professional athlete. Why are you even chewing tobacco in the first place?
Well, as
Fair
baseball
enough.
players.
Yeah, but they're not even allowed to do it anymore. They have to chew gum now because it was ruining the
They're
fields.
not allowed. You watch the games, and what do you think
they're
doing?
packing
They're
lunch.
just there.
It's but they have to chew gum at the stadium now because they banned it because it was ruining the fields when they'd spit it out. Except in Toronto where we still have AstroTurf.
Potential game of the week: San Diego Chargers against the Baltimore Ravens. Is this the Ravens' comeback to go to the Super Bowl, Jeff?
Oh God, I think the Ravens do beat the Chargers because the Chargers are like beyond Phillip Rivers.
I'm taking Chargers.
I got Chargers. He
if
throws
Rivers-
another 60 attempts this game.
If Rivers has an off game, the Chargers lose. There's no
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Baltimore over them because they did play again down to the wire last week, and I gotta they're losing every game by like 4 points. I think they've lost their games by combined 22 points or something. So eventually it's got to give, and I don't think the Chargers are the type of team that is solid enough defensively to stop that, especially if they have the ball at the end of the game again.
All right. Next game we got Cincinnati against Pittsburgh. I already said if Roethlisberger plays, I'm taking the Steelers in an upset.
That's my upset of the week, Steelers.
Yeah, if there's no Roethlisberger, I think Cincinnati blows them out.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers win, but I'm taking Cincinnati.
Yeah, like I said, it all depends on the starting quarterback, I think, this week for Pittsburgh. Up next, we got Tennessee Titans against the Houston Texans.
Battle of the
Another
powerhouses.
just game of the week.
Still not 100% if Mariota's playing. It's looking like he will, though.
I don't care. I'm taking
But I'm
Tennessee.
taking Tennessee. Yeah.
I wanted to touch on something quick that I had found on Twitter in regards to the Houston Texans. And it said something like, never forget the things you say on social media. And what it was from the Texans Facebook page when they had drafted J.J. Watt and they announced with the whatever overall, it was like 10th or 11th overall pick, Houston selects J.J. Watt. And you go down to the comments and the amount of people who are saying, why? No, he's garbage. He sucks. Oh, he's brutal. And now he's like the fan favorite there. It's pretty funny to just see things like that.
One of the most depressing things about J.J. Watt when he got drafted, the Cowboys were trying to trade up to get that. And at that time, we would have had DeMarcus Ware and J.J. Watt coming off that line.
And the scary thing with Houston at the time was they had Mario Williams and J.J. Watt, which even was it was
Crazy.
as scary.
Yeah.
But in regards to that game, if Mariota, same thing, if Mariota plays, I'm taking Tennessee. If Mariota does not play, Houston.
Going with Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer.
I don't think Houston has enough to beat them regardless. I'll take Mettenberger over Hoyer any day.
Does Alfred Blue have a good game?
No. I think Polk takes over.
19 carries, 50 yards.
That's big. A bold prediction. Not like a big game.
0 touchdowns.
Yeah. Then we got the New York Jets against the Oakland Raiders.
Jets. Man, the Jets just pushed the Patriots to the end of the game.
Jets, Jets, Jets.
Yeah,
taking the
defense.
Jets. Seahawks, Cowboys.
If Dez plays, Cowboys. No Dez, Seahawks.
I'm taking Seahawks regardless.
Same.
Sorry, Christian.
The actual game of the week now.
Packers, Broncos.
Packers blow.
We already kind of touched on it. Yeah, I'm taking
Manning
Packers
throws
as well.
4 interceptions.
Whoa!
42-13 Green Bay.
Wow.
4 interceptions from Manning.
I'm going to say 32-21 Green Bay.
32, that's a very weird number.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, I didn't do my math.
4 touchdowns, 2 safeties.
Sorry, 31. 31 is what I meant. Yeah, I know. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Let's go 31. Sorry about that. And then we got the Indianapolis Colts against the Panthers.
Another 3 interception game from
What if
Luck.
Haas plays?
Still Panthers.
Yeah, I'm taking Panthers 7-0.
I feel okay. I'm gonna throw out a proto what if now. If Hasselbeck plays, if the Haas ends up starting by some miracle, which is probably never going to happen, I'm gonna take Indianapolis. Otherwise, I'm going with Carolina and sticking with Newton on his possible MVP talks.
Your starts and sits of the week.
All right. My start of the week this week is going to be Jason Witten against Seattle. Seattle's given up the second most points to fantasy owners' tight ends. And Witten's been on a roll. We mentioned that earlier. So I think I'm going to go
steady all year.
Exactly. So I think I'm going to go with Witten as my start. And my sit right now, I would have to look at it. It depends on who has a bad matchup. Who do you guys have for starts right now?
For my start, I got Jonathan Stewart. He's had quite a few good games in a row. And also the Colts are averaging more than 22 points against fantasy running backs. Mm-hmm. And my sit of the week is Andrew Luck. Clearly hasn't been the Andrew Luck we know all year. They playing a tough Panthers defense. Like I called in the game, I think Panthers blow it out. He throws another 3 interceptions this week.
Okay.
My start of the week was actually the same as Christian's. I have Jonathan Stewart as my start of the week.
Very good.
My sit of the week is Chris Ivory. He just did not look good in that game. He did not look like himself. He couldn't run. Like, he couldn't explode when he got outside like he normally can. He didn't have that push on his legs. So I'm going to say Chris Ivory probably puts up something like 50 yards this week.
I think my sit of the week is going to be either Martavius Bryant or Antonio Brown. Like I said, especially if there is no Roethlisberger, I think Cincinnati's going to shut Pittsburgh right down. So if no Roethlisberger, definitely.
It's really looking like he's playing though.
Yeah, but okay, then I would probably sit Martavius Bryant this week because I think he's going to try to get he's going to try to get the ball more to Brown because they need him to pick it up, and I don't think Bryant's going to see as much of the action.
Makes sense. All right, guys, back to your favorite segment and mine. The 4th and Goal Doghouse. All right, let's start with Tony now for this one, this week.
Where is he? All right, my doghouse pick of this week.
He's not here. He flaked.
So Eddie Lacy, you had a bye week this week, so prove me wrong this week, and you could get out of my doghouse. My doghouse pick for last week. Tough one. I'm going back to my fantasy team because that's who I hate the most these past couple weeks. Drum roll, please. It is going to be Brendan LaFell. I was expecting a lot more out of him coming back to the Patriots lineup this week. They were talking how big they were going to use him even though he just came off the injury.
First game back, though.
But, you know, when you make predictions like we're going to use him a lot, we missed him so much, and they didn't even, touch him.
But you believe the Patriots when they say stuff like that? They always switch it up.
They also told me Dion Lewis was going to start this week, and then 15 minutes before the game, guess who didn't play, and guess who kept him in his fantasy team? This guy. It was a bad week for me, all right?
My doghouse is pretty obvious. Cole Beasley fumbling that punt, not even giving us a chance to make a run at the end. You can't be doing that.
Okay, other than Brendan LaFell.
Self-explanatory why he's there.
I'm going to throw EJ in there just because I don't like him right now.
You can't put 2 people in 1 week. Wait till next week.
You put Jonathan Cooper in twice.
No, I didn't put him in twice.
Well-deserved, though. Well-deserved.
And there were 2 different weeks, though.
But yeah, Cole Beasley's mine, obviously. If you guys watched the Cowboys game, you know why. Didn't even give us a chance to at least make a run at that last drive. So you're in the doghouse, buddy. And also, you're also in my doghouse because with Dez out, I thought you'd be a nice slot option. Maybe get some extra yards. You've done really nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he struggled a lot.
My doghouse this week. First, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I'm going to take Jonathan Cooper out for this week on an interim basis.
Cooper!
We'll see how he does. But for this week,
that Christmas gift's looking better now, eh?
God. Still no.
I wish you guys could see the eye rolling. I just
Still
got
no.
there.
I'm going to take him out this week. I mean, I did put him in twice, right? So doesn't that mean he's still in, technically?
He's half in.
He's on his way out this week. But for who I'm putting in, I'm going to put in whoever decided for the Giants that it was a good idea to re-sign Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh, thank you.
Like, what? I don't understand. You're halfway through a season, and you're re-signing a guy who can't even lift a weight without wrapping his hand in a towel. Like, and you expect him to come in and make an impact on your defensive line?
A man who blew his hand up with a firework you think is intelligent enough to get on an NFL football field.
I have so many players I want to throw in my doghouse.
Well, you're a Bills fan. Of course you do.
Well,
we
not
get
just
it.
the Bills. Like,
and you have a bad fantasy team. We get it.
Kamar Aikman, another one from... he only had, 3 targets? Joe Flacco,
it's not
you
Proto's
too.
dog houses. It's the dog
Yeah,
house.
come on, Proto.
This is a big
Proto's
house.
dog mansion.
Listen, I'm Portuguese. We're good at carpentry, so I made a big old dog house, all right?
We were all debating throwing Proto in this week, too, for his obsessive flaking. Or excessive flaking.
I had a family event. They won't let me even leave that. Like, I can't go anywhere.
What are you doing, man? You should. We're your
dare you
family
be
now.
with your
We're your
family.
family now. But no, somehow we all managed to avoid throwing Proto in this week.
Yay.
You're lucky Beasley messed up so bad.
Next week, though. There's always next week.
He won't show up next week.
Yeah, Proto doesn't come in. He's afraid we're going to throw him in the doghouse, so he doesn't come in.
Can't wait, guys.
And we do it anyway. All right, so I do have a question prepared for you guys this week.
What's the record again?
Our current score is Collarbone leading Tony the Tiger 3-1.
That's not great.
And it would be 4-1 if he didn't miss that one. We
didn't even have
We didn't have the
I
question
know,
right
I'm
that
just
week.
harassing.
All right, so as unimpressive as Manning's game was last week, there was an impressive portion of it in the fact that he started again to extend his longest streak in the NFL, going right now. How many consecutive games has Eli Manning started?
Including playoffs or just
regular season?
Regular season starts.
Stop
me, I'm trying to do math in my head.
Me too.
All right, a few Eli Manning facts here. Eli Manning was drafted in 2004, number 1 overall, after having the pick traded to the Giants.
All
Still
right.
not enough?
By who?
San Diego?
Okay. That's when they took Philip Rivers.
They took
right?
Philip Rivers at number 4.
That's what I thought. Okay, let's see. I'm still thinking here, all right? Give me a minute. Because I was listening to you blabble.
All right. I got a number.
Let me think here.
Probably takes a long time to think.
Yeah, I gotta
apparently.
really think this out. Okay, yeah, I got a number.
All right, who wants to go first?
Let's rock, paper, scissors this.
All right.
Say it at the same time.
Okay, that's fair.
No, because we're recorded.
I'm just gonna copy 100 in.
We got to start writing them down so we can't change it.
Oh, well said. Okay,
But I'll just say it. 148.
148 consecutive starts. Okay, I'm gonna go 120.
He totally changed it after yours.
No,
dude.
no,
You
no.
can tell.
definitely
You
did.
can
I
tell.
did not
He definitely
change it
did.
after
He's like,
that.
I'm going lower.
Anyway, Christian wins again.
Yes!
It's 176.
Whoa.
He started 176 consecutive
Whoa.
games.
You're looking like your Bills right now. Woo!
1-4, Proto. 1-4. After the big
The
first
big
win,
First win like the
Yeah.
Bills, and now coming back to reality.
the first win, he got all his fans' hopes up.
Wait, so what's the answer?
176.
So Eli Manning's so his career record is what, like 101 and 76, or
100, yeah, 101 and 75. Yeah, unless he's tied again. Pretty sure he hasn't, but.
huh? Well,
Were you surprised?
I thought he lost less games. In all honesty,
You thought he lost less than
I
75?
thought he's lost less than 75.
I would have thought.
Think about it. When they won the Super Bowl, they were 9-7.
Yeah,
They don't
both
put up
times.
crazy
True.
like 12-4,
'Cause, like,
13-3
I was
seasons.
thinking the week they beat the Bills, he got his, I believe it was 101.
100.
career.
It was
beat the who?
his 100th. Yeah.
Beat the Bills. I said that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I thought he had a lot more career. Well, okay, I guess that didn't make sense. Then I was saying he was 101-19. I'm an idiot.
That is.
If you think about the number I threw up there, yeah. Dumb,
God.
dumb.
Eli Manning, holder of a career 92% winning percentage.
Yeah, so exactly. I didn't really think this out.
With 2 Super Bowl wins.
Did not take that out.
It turns out Eli Manning's the best quarterback in NFL history. There
Give
you
me
go.
another question, please. I redeem myself.
This isn't your doghouse. It's one question.
Yeah.
You know what? Forget the doghouse. I'm throwing myself in there.
Thank you. Someone needed to.
I'm mad at myself.
He's throwing himself in for thinking Eli Manning had a 90% winning percentage.
Like, I realize right now I said 120, and I knew he had 102 or 1 career wins.
Not to mention, I said since 2004, and theoretically, if he has the longest active streak,
All
that
I
would mean
did
he's
was-
played every game in his career.
All I did was times 10 seasons by 16 games, and then I figured maybe he didn't start his first career season and just took that off.
He actually, Kurt Warner started the first 8 games of Manning's career, and then Manning played like crap, and they wanted to go back to Kurt Warner, and Kurt Warner was like, no, he's a young guy, you can't screw with him like that, keep him playing, and then they traded him to Arizona.
Smart.
So, pretty classy move by Kurt Warner. Proto's still mad at himself.
I'm so upset. That was
4-1.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever said.
No, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, it was not the dumbest
Not
thing you've
even
ever
top
said.
5.
Yeah, like that's not even top 5 in the last week. Like, that's
I basically just called Eli Manning a quarterback that has 101 wins and 19 losses. Like, I'm gonna just lay down.
he needs to take a rest. All right, while Proto is trying to get over himself here and taking a breather, hopefully he doesn't flake from his breather because none of us know CPR.
I do.
Well,
I'm actually CPR. Just end it, please.
That's
I can't English anymore.
he wouldn't even be able to do the CPR on himself. He'd just flake from doing it. He'd be like, guys, I'm suffocating.
It's 12:18. I haven't consumed any alcohol today, so.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive, unless my milk was spiked or something like that. But I'm okay.
His mom just spikes it every morning. Just like, I can only put up with you when you're drunk. Just. All right, everybody. This has been 4th and Goal. We're now next week we'll be heading into the halfway point in the season, so hopefully we can come back and give you our updated selections and not have the Ravens and the Chiefs as our AFC Super Bowl selections, and of course our MVP rankings for next week, which will probably not include the holder of a 92% career winning percentage in Eli Manning. So yeah, hopefully you join us next week on 4th and Goal, and remember, until next week, when it comes to the 4th and Goal podcast, always go for it.
Thank you for listening to Break the Cast.